How's it going, everyone? Reckless Yuki here, and welcome to my video submission to compete against the plethora of videos plaguing YouTube right now titled Best Microphone for YouTube Gaming Commentaries, Twitch Streaming, and even Podcasts. And unlike the suggested videos you're going to see on the right-hand side of the screen because they share a similar title to that of my own, I will not be placing the Audio-Technica AT2020USB, Blue Yeti, or even the new Razer Seiren up on a glorified pedestal, calling it the best for those applications because I honestly feel it is not the best. And when I first started my YouTube channel, I started off with a Blue Snowball, then moved on to the Blue Yeti due to the countless recommendations I found on YouTube, to only find out that it was a very nice mic for what it is, but because it's a USB condenser style microphone, it picks up everything. And if you guys are like me, you have hard walls, hard roof, maybe just a carpeted floor, and then all sorts of flat surfaces to throw your voice around so it reverbs, as well as not really in the best environment. You might have like cars outside passing by, motorcycles that are just going to really feed into the microphone. Even people within your own dwellings might be, not being won't stay quiet, and then their voices or whatever they're doing is going to feed into the microphone, ruining your recordings. And that's why I feel that those microphones are not the best, because it is very nice for what they do. If you're doing any sort of musical application, like playing an acoustic guitar, the frequency range of them is really excellent, and they really will pick up everything you do with that guitar as long as your environment is set to do such a recording. But if you are doing just gaming commentaries where you're recording your voice, that is not the best solution. Now, I don't have a Blue Yeti anymore. I gave it to a friend who was in need of a new microphone, and the Blue Yeti is a fantastic microphone, but calling it is the best is what I very highly disagree with. And if that's all you have, then that's fine. If you find it for a really good deal, that's fine as well. But in today's video, I'm going to be comparing a plethora of microphones, just to kind of give you guys a feel for what's out there and what kind of microphones, like how a microphone performs compared to other high quality microphones. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys lavaliers like I'm using right now, hooked up to some sort of a portable recorder. I have two different types to kind of share with you guys. Also comparing shotgun microphones. I have a really cheap one and a really nice one to show you. I have two different condenser style USB microphones from this really cheap $5 Guitar Hero mic I picked up used from GameStop a while ago, to compare it to my Apogee mic 96K. And this is going to simulate the Blue Yeti, the Audio-Technica AT2020USB, as well as the Razer Seiren. Now, even though this is a lot smaller than those mics, from the online reviews I've read on forums from the audio snobs out there that spends tens of thousands of dollars on microphones, they all say that this microphone performs better than a Blue Yeti. So you'll be able to hear this, and this will be my kind of test, or this will be kind of simulating the Blue Yeti to kind of show you guys the difference between the quality of this compared to other microphones. And then moving on to my favorite type of microphone, which is a dynamic microphone, which I highly recommend, especially if you're just going to be sitting in front of the computer playing games, recording your voice, where you're not going to be doing any sort of talking head videos like this, where you won't really need the lavalier and you won't really need a shotgun mic. All you need is a dynamic mic to feed into your computer to record your voice, and it will kind of block out all the excess sound. And now to do these recordings and these tests, I had my computer running, which the fans are decently audible. You're going to be able to hear it with some of the microphones, and then others like my dynamics, you're definitely not going to be able to hear it, which is nice and fantastic. So yeah, so that's basically like the rundown of it. And what I did was I basically told you guys what mic I'll be using, a short moment of silence to hear any sort of white noise and background noise, just like the room noise that could be present that the microphone could be picking up. And then I said the same boring, repetitive thing over and over again, just to test out the plosives and sibilants. I think that's how you say it, where it just kind of how it handles your S's. And so that's what I did for the video, and it's a very long video. I do apologize for that. I mean, this whole beginning part is probably a good, decent rant, but I want to make sure that I kind of set it up so that you are watching it well informed of what I was trying to do, so you're not sitting there thinking, what is he doing? This is stupid. So hopefully that's not on your mind. Hopefully you can make it through the whole 11.5 minutes that I took to test out all my microphones. And what I really think is cool is because I'm testing out, like I said, a used $5 microphone compared to a setup that costs over $1,300, excluding the cables, shock mount, and mic arm, just for the microphone and then all the audio equipment it goes through, just so you guys really feel the difference and you kind of can hear the difference of how far your dollar will go when it comes to representing your voice and recreating your voice in a digital format. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the test so I'm not boring you guys completely to death. And then afterwards, I'll talk about the different microphones and my favorite and what I like to use, all right? So here we go to the tests. This is a built-in microphone of my Panasonic GH3, and a moment of silence to listen to the white noise and any background noise that could be apparent. And peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica Pro 24cm shotgun microphone, which is being powered from a watch battery directly plugged into the microphone input of my Panasonic GH3. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of white noise or background noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica AT897 shotgun microphone powered from a AA battery going to a Hosa MIT156 impedance transformer that has an XLR on one side and a 3.5mm stereo jack on the other. And it's going directly into my Panasonic GH3 microphone input. And a moment of silence to hear any sort of white noise or background noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica AT897 shotgun microphone feeding into my Zoom H5 with 24-volt phantom power, no compression, no low-cut filter, that is feeding from the line output into my Panasonic GH3 microphone input. Now a moment of silence to hear any white noise or background noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica AT897 shotgun microphone feeding into my Zoom H5 portable recorder with 24-volt phantom power, no compressor, no low-cut filter, and a moment of silence to hear any white noise or background noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica AT897 shotgun microphone feeding into my Zoom H5 portable recorder with 24-volt phantom power. Vocal compressor is on, low-cut filter is on, and a moment of silence to hear any background noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Zoom H1 with built-in XY microphone capsule. Low-cut filter is on, and a moment of silence to hear any sort of white noise or background noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is the Zoom H5 portable recorder with included XY microphone capsule, and no low-cut filter or compression is applied, and a moment of silence to listen to any sort of background noise or white noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Zoom H5 portable recorder with included XY microphone capsule. The low-cut filter and compressor is on, and a moment of silence to listen to any sort of white noise or background noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Logitech C920 webcam microphone, and let's take a moment of silence to listen to the noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is a test of my Sennheiser PC 363D gaming headset, and let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of background noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my super cheap Neewer lavalier hooked up to my Zoom H1 with the low-cut filter on, and let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of background noise or white noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my giant squid omnidirectional lavalier hooked up to my Zoom H1 with a low-cut filter on, and let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of background noise or white noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Rode lavalier, not to be confused with the Rode Smart Lav, hooked up to the Zoom H1 with the low-cut filter on. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of background noise or white noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all. This is my super cheap Neewer Lavalier plugged into my Zoom H5 with a low cut filter on. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my giant squid omnidirectional lavalier plugged into my Zoom H5 with the low cut filter on. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Rode lavalier, not to be mistaken with the Rode Smart Lav, plugged into my Zoom H5 with a low cut filter on. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of background noise or white noise that might be present. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my super cheap Neewer lavalier plugged into my Zoom H5 with low cut and compressor enabled. Let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my giant squid omnidirectional lavalier plugged into my Zoom H5 with low cut and compressor enabled. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provide adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Rode lavalier, not to be confused with the Rode Smart Lav, plugged into my Zoom H5 with low cut and compressor enabled. Let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Guitar Hero USB microphone plugged directly into my computer, and let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Apogee Mic 96K condenser USB microphone plugged directly into my computer, and let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica AT2100 dynamic microphone plugged into my computer directly from the USB output of the microphone. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica AT2100 dynamic microphone using the XLR connection, going to my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer, going to my Native Instruments Complete Audio 6 audio interface, and take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Heil PR40 dynamic microphone going to my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer, going to my Native Instruments Complete Audio 6 audio interface, and take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Electrovoice RE20 dynamic microphone going to my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer, going to my Native Instruments Complete Audio 6 audio interface, and take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica ATR2100 dynamic microphone using the XLR connection, being supplied with phantom power with the help of a Triton audio FET for a clean audio gain, going to my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer, going to my Native Instruments Complete Audio 6 audio interface. And let's take a moment of silence, listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Heil PR40 dynamic microphone being supplied with phantom power with the help of a Triton audio FET for a clean audio gain. Go to my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer, going to my Native Instruments Complete Audio 6 audio interface. Take a moment of silence, listening to our noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Electrovoice RE20 dynamic microphone being supplied with phantom power with the help of a Triton audio FET for a clean audio gain. Going to my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer, Go into my native instruments, complete Audio 6 audio interface. Take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Audio-Technica AT82100 dynamic microphone using the XLR connection, being supplied with phantom power with the help of a Triton audio head for a clean audio gain. Going to my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer with the EQ settings adjusted. Go into my Behringer Multicom Pro XL with the gate limiter and compressor enabled. Go into my native instruments, complete Audio 6 audio interface. And let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Heil PR40 dynamic microphone being supplied with phantom power with the help of a Triton audio head for a clean audio gain. Go into my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer with the EQ settings adjusted. Go into my Behringer Multicom Pro XL with the limiter, gate, and compressor enabled. Go into my native instruments, complete Audio 6 audio interface. Let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. This is my Electrovoice RE20 dynamic microphone being supplied with phantom power with the help of a Triton audio head for a clean audio gain. Go into my Mackie 1202 VLZ4 mixer with the EQ settings adjusted. Go into my Behringer Multicom Pro XL with the compressor, gate, and limiter enabled. Go into my native instruments, complete Audio 6 audio interface, and let's take a moment of silence to listen to any sort of noise. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches provides adequate sustenance for all for a cheap price. Welcome back, and I apologize for how long or repetitive that was, but it was necessary for you guys to hear the audio quality differences between the microphones that I shared with you in this video. And this part of the video, I just want to kind of take a moment to rant about all the microphones I shared with you guys, kind of put my last bit of thoughts on it. So this is going to extend the video out a little bit, but if you're interested, please stay tuned. But if not, please leave a comment in the description below as far as what you thought of the video so far. If you made it this far and you don't want to watch anymore, I completely understand. But anyways, let's kind of get into the different microphones that I shared with you guys, just kind of talk about it and put my final thoughts on it as far as why you would want any of these microphones, or why would you need these sort of microphones, especially the variety of these microphones. And the reason for that is because the reason why they have many different microphones out there is because not one microphone can do the job as well as another type of microphone, and it depends on the job that you're trying to do. So let's say this sort of a video right here that I'm doing now, a talking head vlog type video, me, a single person, and I only care about capturing my voice to be edited with the video footage so that it can sound really nice. I'm using a lavalier microphone hooked up to a portable recorder, and the portable recorder I'm using is the Zoom H5 with the Rode lavalier. And this setup, compared to the others that I showed you, is way expensive and kind of ridiculous for how much you're getting as far as performance. So this setup was like, I think $220 for the mic and close to $300, $400 for the Zoom H5. Compare that to the $100 Zoom H1 hooked up to the Neewer lavalier that I got on Amazon for like $2. The sound quality of that compared to this, like, I would be perfectly fine using that all day and never have spent the money on this. And the reason why I bought this, because I was very kind of OCD about trying to get the best quality stuff I can get for the price. And kind of now that I have all this stuff here and listening to the differences, I definitely kind of overspent on this setup. While this setup is nice and having the compressor on here and a low cut filter is like nice things, when you're editing this video and editing the sound, you really just want to know how to use your audio editing software, and then you can represent whatever sound you need, and you'll make it sound way better on there than you can with this. Now, while recording the best quality sound, like the raw sound, before you edit it and before you enhance it is ideal, the differences that you heard in the raw sound wasn't significant enough for the justification of the higher price, is what I feel. But anyways, it's really up to you. Audio quality and audio representation is all on the listener. So if you listen to this and you found that the cheaper stuff was just no difference than the more expensive stuff, then just spend the money on the cheaper stuff. But if you feel that the expensive stuff was a lot nicer quality, you want to represent that quality, then you're going to have to shell out more money for the little bit of a return you get, or a little bit of gain in performance. But anyways, that's enough of the lavaliers. Going into the shotgun mics, I love shotgun microphones because they kind of, you don't have a lavalier here like on your body. You don't have to worry about holding a portable recorder or stashing this somewhere. It's just mounted on the camera, so you're kind of free to do whatever. And also it'll pick up yourself. And if you're with someone else, or with your few people talking to the same sort of video like this, or you're just kind of interviewing, a shotgun microphone is really nice because it captures kind of like a directed range. So anywhere the camera is looking at, the shotgun microphone will pick up that voice or that kind of direction of noise. But as you heard, like my computer back here was running, so I had the fans on, and the shotgun microphone was really doing a good job of picking up those noises as well. So you have to kind of be aware of your environments. But if you're having a video like this where you're talking to multiple people, shotgun microphone all day, every day is what I would recommend, unless if you're willing to spend the money on different portable recorders and different lavaliers to mic up each person. The shotgun microphone is just an easier setup. And now with the shotgun microphone though, you really heard the difference between the really crappy shotgun microphone I had compared to the really nice Audio-Technica AT897 hooked up to the Zoom H5, or even that hose adapter that I had, that worked pretty well as well. So having a shotgun microphone, I feel, is ideal. Now, you could just use a portable recorder and use the X and Y capsules on here, but I think the shotgun microphone did a better job, and it was significant enough to value the higher quality shotgun microphone, especially a huge difference compared to the lavaliers. Lavaliers not so much, but the shotgun microphones very much so a huge difference and a huge improvement. Now, going to condenser microphones, so hearing the quality of this $5 Guitar Hero was just fantastic. I was very surprised with the quality of this, especially because I got it used. I'm sure it was abused very much. I mean, it has all these stupid stickers on here that I didn't take off because I thought it really added to the cheapness of it. And I mean, I was still surprised with how well this was able to do, especially compared to this $230 Apogee mic that is just really small, really portable, really nice, really great at representing, musical type of applications. But it's just the quality difference wasn't that I didn't really feel that this was that superior compared to that. I mean, it was a nicer mic. I definitely heard it was a nicer quality. But then again, I'm not really a fan of condenser style microphones, so I guess I'll just kind of get off of that subject because I'm already going into it with a bias. And let's just move into the dynamic microphones that I shared with you guys. Now, the ATR2100 from Audio-Technica was just fantastic. It has a USB output, an XLR output, so if you choose to upgrade your audio equipment in the future, you can do so and keep the same mic, and it just sounded great. It was able to hold up to the much more expensive Heil PR40 and the super expensive RE20. This, I believe, you could get on Amazon for about $60 for all the functions that this does, compared to the, how much is this? This is like $300 on Amazon now for the Heil PR40, and then the $450, $500-ish RE20 from Electro Voice. So the difference in prices, this performed just super well. And I know a year ago this was going on Amazon for about $34, and because everyone was buying this and using it and giving it great reviews, they've been jacking up the price to kind of being closer to MSRP. But a year ago you could get this for $34, but now it's about $60, where these microphones kind of are still at the same reduced price. Now, the Heil PR40 is definitely a podcaster's dream. Every person seeking to be a professional podcaster out there would die to get this microphone. And I think this is definitely my favorite microphone to use. I like this more than the RE20, even though it's basically just up to you what you like your voice to be represented as. But I think that this does a better job for me personally. And then using this with my whole audio equipment back here that you guys might find overkill. But for me at the time in Hawaii, this definitely was not overkill. So let's just talk about this setup real quick. So the reason why I have a mixer, I have this like gate compressor and limiter here, as well as the separate audio interface. I I wanted full control over my audio. So when you're doing videos like this sort of a video, or even just doing gameplay commentaries, you basically record your voice raw, and then you can manipulate your voice however you see fit to make it sound buttery smooth in the editing software. But when you're doing something like Twitch streaming or a podcast, you don't have that control where you can't really control your voice. And that's where a mixer plays into. So a mixer, you can adjust the EQs and kind of get your voice sounding perfectly. So whenever I make a video, whenever I make a gaming commentary or any sort of video, as long as I'm using my HAL PR40 going through my setup, I never manipulate the audio. I just record it raw, and that's what I upload. And it sounds, I think, perfectly every time, because I have this to kind of manipulate and set up so that whenever I'm doing a video for YouTube, like a YouTube gaming commentary, it doesn't sound any different from when I was doing a podcast, or even when I'm doing a Twitch stream. It's kind of representing my voice the same, so you don't hear any sort of difference. So, you know, I'm not going to be on YouTube gaming commentaries with like the Barry White voice and then coming up as Screech on any sort of live event. So that's why I like this. That's why I value this. And that's why some of you guys might also want to value this as well. And then let's talk about the limiter gate and compressor here. The gate was really important for me in Hawaii because in my old apartment, I wasn't really isolated to any sort of outside elements. So everything that was happening outside, like if a car was going up with a loud exhaust, or a motorcycle especially, or even a siren, like, I don't know, like half a mile away, all that would be picked up in my Blue Yeti, and that thing just like picked up everything. So whenever I was trying to do a gaming commentary, it made it really difficult, because then I'd have to stop, wait for that noise to end, and then re-pick it up. And it also made like Twitch streaming impossible to have a professional audio sound. And then even podcast was just really impossible, because all that stuff was just feeding into the mic, and it just made it a nightmare to try to do those sort of applications. So having a gate, I think, is really important if you live in an environment where you can't control the noises around you. Basically what the gate does is it sets it up so that only sounds this loud can get through the gate and actually make it to the recording, and everything else is just blocked off. And all the outside sounds, you know, while they're still far away, they weren't able to be loud enough to be picked up on the mic. Whereas my voice being only, or for the source of my voice only being about 2 or 3 inches away, was definitely loud enough to punch through that gate so that it will be recorded. And that's why I have this set up. So anyways, I think I blabbled on enough about all the microphones. So if you stayed along with me this long, once again, I do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys found the video interesting, as I'm kind of losing the ability to speak here. My voice is getting really dry because I've been talking, ranting for a while now. And yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you think of this video. Let me know if there's something I could have done to improve it. As far as the boringness, I really couldn't have done anything about that. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully open your mind to know that there's other better solutions out there than the, you know, the Blue Yeti, the Audio-Technica AT2100, or the Audio-Technica AT2020 USB, or the Razer Seiren. But anyways, like I said, my thoughts are kind of getting rambled on. I'm going to stop the video now. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.